It's Christmas time, which means there's lots of things to see and do. From German Christmas markets to just quite literally chilling with friends and having some beers. I thought I'd take a day and head down to my nation's capital and see what's happening in London during the holidays.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
As I live near Birmingham, the first part was going a good few miles south. First leg of the journey, an hour bus ride. After a train south, I arrived at Euston Station and made my way to the first place I wanted to see, Kyoto Gardens in Holland Park. Once I got off the tube at Holland Park Station, it hit me how easy I could get lost here. On the map it's adjacent to the park, yet in person you see nothing but houses. After some kind locals pointed the way, I was in, and I started walking in a general south direction toward where I remembered the quite small Kyoto Gardens was from my 2-hour staring session with the map the night before. I'm at Holland Park and this place is pretty damn nice. Check it out. Got to the Kyoto Gardens and this is outstanding. Check it out. Upon seeing the garden I was a little taken. The whole atmosphere just promoted serenity. Even the animals seemed so tame you could pick up a squirrel with one hand and a bird with the other and have no kerfuffle occur. They're everywhere. After walking around the gardens and taking some shots of the flora and fauna, I got talking to a chap I saw walking around with his camera taking shots of this wondrous place. He'd just bought a new camera and was giving it a go. Charlie told me about how Pokemon Go players had been swarming the park previously, creating a fair amount of hassle against a chilled out atmosphere, which explained the poster on the gate. Kyoto Gardens, awesome, definitely recommend going there if you come down to London. Just now heading off to Big Ben and gonna have a look around Buckingham Palace and such. Happy days. After a few more photos I started making my way south again towards the nearest underground station in Kensington. I caught the tube to Westminster to check out Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, the Houses of Parliament and various very old and very impressive buildings. It was then I finally saw the Thames for the first time. It took me a lot longer than I thought to get around. For Kyoto Gardens took a fair while, so I'm losing a lot of light, hence phone torch. King. Yeah, I'm now going to make my way. I'm going to skip Buckingham Palace possibly because I'm running out of time and it's dark, so pictures aren't going to be too great. I'd been to London a number of times on the way to visit friends and never gone further than Piccadilly Circus to go to Japan Centre for some Eastern goods. The view on the Thames at twilight is quite something. I walked what I figured was eastish towards Trafalgar Square and it turned out I went the right way as I saw the large Christmas tree ahead. The tree is an annually donated tree from Norway that is a symbol of help given in the Second World War. It sits at Trafalgar Square alongside the many statues of war heroes outside the National Gallery. It was here I saw the first signs of the various performers who just set up and start busking around the city. A short walk north brought me to Leicester Square, where a Santa's grotto had been set up with the Santa and a small Christmas market. More performers were about between Leicester Square and Piccadilly, not all of them good. But the beatbox was fairly impressive. A friend of mine insisted I check out the new Lego store, but time was so short I quickly popped to Japantown to get some green tea and mochi. They were out of mochi. I then made haste to the tube and did a quick hop to the embankment station next to Jubilee Bridges, walking over the Thames to the Southbank. It was then I realised I had about 10 minutes to walk, what I now know was 2 miles to the east towards the Shard, where a friend was finishing work. The views on the way of the Thames and the various bridges and Christmas markets along the way was delightful, as I made my way towards the shiny beacon that is the Shard at night. I arrived nearly 30 minutes late and we headed off to a nearby pub to catch up over some beers. After a few hours, we headed back up to the Euston station, got some food from the surprisingly awesome Leon restaurant, said goodbye, and I got on my train to head back up north. I didn't give myself anywhere near enough time in London. Even a full day is not at all enough. You could spend a week here and see new things every day, and the feeling of life during the night in the winter months coming up to Christmas, with the various Christmas markets around the city, just makes the atmosphere that much better. Cities tend to be both the most social and antisocial places on earth, with a reputation of keeping to yourself. But I spoke to many people in my short time there, and all of them were delightful. I will definitely be coming back here very soon.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you